Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, freedom for sale.
Meron 30,000, meron 100,000, meron na maabot ng milyon. Naging negosyo na ang bilibid natin sa Pilipinas.
Bureau of Corrections officials in hot water over allegations of rampant corruption.
Nung marinig ko yung testimony, gusto ko maiyak kasi I work hard to try to fix that.
BuCor officials ready to submit themselves to lifestyle checks.
That shows that it was happening na nanghihingi sila ng pera tapos binuro nila para wala makuha ang ebidensya.
And after being sacked by the president, is former BuCor chief Nicanor Faeldon off the hook? Presidential Anti-Corruption Commissioner Manuelito Luna joins us live. Thank you for joining us. Sitting in for Pinky Web, I'm Ina Andulong. The Office of the Ombudsman suspending 27 Bureau of Corrections officers for the alleged anomalous release of convicts, including those charged with heinous crimes. Ombudsman Samuel Martirez says these BuCor officials are facing charges of grave misconduct, gross neglect of duty, and conduct prejudicial to the best interest of the service. The officials include BuCor Documents and Processing Section Chief Ramoncito Roque, BuCor Correctional Senior Inspector Maribel Bancil, and Bilibid Custodial Officer Veronica Buño. They testified at the Senate over the alleged freedom for sale scheme inside Bilibid. The officials are under preventive suspension for 6 months without pay pending investigation. The Ombudsman has requested the Justice Department to immediately carry out the order. The common-law husband of witness Yolanda Camilon facing the Senate to confirm her claims that they paid 50,000 pesos to Bureau of Corrections officials so that he could be released earlier than scheduled for good behavior. But Bureau of Corrections officials deny their involvement in the alleged scheme. Our Joyce Ilas has that story.
Hawak po nila ang buhay namin. Paparusahan kami o ikukulon niya kami. Pag nagsalita ka agad sa Bureau. Yun po ang totoo. Kaya ako, 1 taon na pinapanalangin ko po na pag nakalaya ako, uupuan ko dito sa Senado para ibulgar ko itong mga katarantaduang ginagawa ng Bureau.
Godfrey Gamboa has had enough of the so-called abuses inside the new Bilibid prison. On Monday, just a month away from his release, he faced the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee to talk about the Good Conduct Time Allowance for Sale scheme. Gamboa is the common-law husband of Yolanda Camilon. Wearing a bulletproof vest, Gamboa echoed Camilon's earlier claim. He said they paid 50,000 pesos to Bureau of Corrections officials to ensure his early release.
Pinramis nila na lalabas ako sa March. Hindi naman ako lumabas. So sabi ko sa asawa ko, bawiin mo na yung pera dahil wala naman silang ginawa. Hanggang pabalik-balik na lang na wala namang nangyari hanggang ngayon.
BuCor officials, however, were quick to deny the couple's allegations. Corrections Senior Inspector Maria Belinda Bancil said that she never received money from Camilon. Camilon said Bancil collected 20,000 pesos from her twice.
Kanino mo binigay yung 20 mil?
Kay Mama Bel din po.
Kanino?
Mama Bel Bancil.
Mabel?
Hindi po totoo yan, Your Honor.
Oh.
Nagsisinungaling po yan.
Sir, meron pong CCTV from the gate.
May CCTV doon?
Meron po
Pwede
yung
nyo i-check,
mula
Your Honor.
CCTV
Pwede nyo i-check.
papunta dun sa restaurant na pinagmimitingan namin time to time.
Corrections Officer Veronica Buño also denied involvement in the GCTA for sale. Camilon said it was Buño who kept on calling her to follow up the payments. But Buño stood her ground, even after Camilon played a recorded phone conversation between her and Buño.
Ma'am, ang banggit na ni Boss Chito is magtiwala lang kayo sa amin, ma'am, ha? It's official business.
Ikaw ba yung nasa telepono?
Sir, hindi po.
Kanina nang tinatanong kita, sabi mo negative. Narinig ko yung negative din sa telepono niya 2 beses.
Yes, sir.
Negative.
As form lang po sa amin sa uniform personnel.
Kaya nga, ginamit mo rin sa kanya, ginamit mo sa akin
Sir,
negative.
hindi po.
Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman Richard Gordon subpoenaed Buño's and Bancil's cell phones to see if they contacted Camilon. But most messages and call logs had been deleted already.
That shows that it was happening na nanghihingi sila ng pera tapos binuro nila para walang makuha ang ebidensya, that's obstruction of justice. I just ordered the NBI to retrieve the messages.
The senators were also not convinced with BuCor Documents Processing Chief Ramoncito Roque's denials. Roque admitted accepting 10,000 pesos from Camilon but still insisted he returned the money.
Saan mo sinauli?
Nasalubong ko sila.
Sa loob ng?
Somewhere in, sa street.
Sinauli ba o?
Hindi po, sir.
So wala yung nagsalubong kayo? Kasi
Wala
alam mo,
po.
parang hindi logical yung sinasabi mo, yung takbo ng mga pangyayari. Kasi you've lied to us, and if you continue lying, we'll not stop bombarding you with questions. Mahirap tandaan ang kasinungalingan. Ang madaling tandaan, katotohanan.
Joyce Ila, CNN Philippines.
The hearing resumes on Thursday. Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman Richard Gordon hopes more witnesses will surface to shed more light on the scandal. There seems to be more things for sale at the Bilibid prison. Senator Bongo says he is looking into reports of prison officials and personnel allegedly selling hospital passes to inmates. Go says these inmates are faking their illnesses to buy the so-called hospital referral pass to make illegal drug transactions inside the Bilibid hospital. The senator also urged the Justice Department to investigate the matter. Go visited the National Penitentiary yesterday to meet with officials and check on the situation of inmates. Besides investigating the alleged freedom for sale scheme, senators also looked into the perennial problem of corruption in various forms, allegedly involving the Bureau of Corrections. Our George Cahiles has that story.
Nanalo na kayo sa korte, na-convict na nga, and yet they live like kings inside the prison facilities.
Correct.
So justice has not been rendered.
That's how Senator Panfilo Lacson describes the condition of convicts inside Building 14 of the new Bilibid prisons in Muntinlupa City. He even showed a photo of convicted carjacker Raymond Dominguez with his girlfriend posted on Facebook in November 2017. Lacson adds a mobile phone was confiscated from Dominguez just last month.
Sinabi kasi nila, contraband number 1 yung mobile phone. And yet, the PDLs, especially, or even those detained in the maximum security facility, openly use their mobile phones. And I'll show it to you because sinabi kong openly kasi nagpo-post sa Facebook eh.
According to PDEA Director, itong mga ganitong klaseng cellphone, ang nito maipasok mo lang to, it's about 2 million to 2.5. Yung mga 2G, 3G, that's about 500 to 700,000.
The senator also revealed that there is an intel report saying that the chief of BuCor's Legal Division and Internal Affairs Service, Frederick Santos, took drugs together with some Chinese drug lords inside Building 14.
Have you ever used drugs, attorney? Have you ever used drugs?
No, sir.
Not once in your lifetime?
No, sir.
Baka makakuha kami ng ebidensya. Pakita ko, baka lying ka na naman.
No, sir.
I'm going to get that evidence, ha?
Yes, sir.
I almost have it.
Hindi po totoo yun. Matagal po akong investigador. 23 years po ako investigador. Siyempre, may axe to grind sa akin yung mga bilanggo dahil nagkasuhan kami.
Pero walang basis, sir, yung sinasabi niya. Seems like inmates may own contraband at the NBP if the right amount is paid to jail guards. That's if we believe the testimony of inmate Godfrey Gamboa.
Kung gusto mo mag-ura ng telepono, kung lalagay ka,
Opo, sir.
magkano lagay?
Depende, sir, sa klase ng telepono.
Sa TV, may lagay.
Mayroon po.
Magkano lagay sa TV?
Ganun din, 1,000.
Conjugal visit, may lagay?
Sa naririnig ko po, dati po. Pero ngayong nung naging Sir Bato, si Senator Bato at saka si Sir Faeldon, wala na po.
PNP Chief General Oscar Albayalde says it's impossible that a PNP Special Action Force will allow the entry of contraband at the NBP. Hundreds of staff troopers man the gates of the maximum security compounds of the NBP including Building 14.
Ang belief natin dito is yung kapag kakampi nila yung gwardiya, doon nakakapasok itong mga gadgets na to. Hindi through the Special Action Force. Kasi yung SAF natin, umiikot yan. No? Pag it's after a few months, nagro-rotate yan. So hindi sila familiar kung kani-kaninong tao doon.
Lacson says the corruption problem in BuCor is systemic and needs to be addressed immediately. George Cahiles, CNN Philippines.
We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. We now have on the line Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman, Senator Dick Gordon. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ina.
Sir, we'd like to get your thoughts. The Ombudsman ordering the suspension of 27 Bureau of Corrections officials. Are you happy about this development?
Well, it's a step forward. It shows that the government means business, but we still have to prove the whole thing so that they can go behind bars for a long, long, long time.
I'm not sure, sir, if you've read the list of these 27 corrections officials, but some of them are participating in your investigation at the Senate. Would you like to see more BuCor officials perhaps be held liable?
We have to go top to bottom here because the system is really reeking with all kinds of corruption from, privileges being given to some privileged prisoners to getting passes in the hospital. Everything is going on there, and we just have to be serious about it. For an example, we cannot afford to have the Director General of the BuCor not following the law. The law says 953, Department Order. I outlined it to him yesterday, and to his credit, he was honest about it. He didn't know about it. He didn't know that he had to report to the Department of Justice with respect to people like life imprisonment, and he didn't know that he has to submit 1 month before the release. The guys that were supposed to be released, and then at the same time, he didn't know that in terms of good conduct allowance, the computation has to be checked by the Department of Justice. That is unacceptable, and that's why we have this fiasco today. And in spite of that fact, he was told by Attorney Santos, his confidant, legal confidant, that he has to follow 953, which he did not. So I guess that's why I said ignorance of the law does not excuse anyone.
Sir, speaking of that, it would appear in your investigation yesterday na nagtuturoan po itong si Nicanor Faeldon and Mr. Santos regarding that DOJ department order. What do you make of that, sir?
That happens when everybody's in trouble and everybody's trying to save himself. But I believe Santos really tried to do it. Faeldon was pretty high up in the pecking order. I mean, he's appointed by the president. So natatakot sa kanya yung mga tao dyan. So he says, I'm going to do it. Everybody follows, no? And you can be charming at times, of course, but at the same time, they know that he must be told that what he's doing could be wrong. And when he's told, he should listen. He didn't.
So medyo mas naniniwala kayo, sir, doon sa testimony noong legal department head saying that he did alert Nicanor Faeldon that the possible release of heinous crime convicts should be informed muna or consulted with the DOJ. Is that right?
Should follow the Department Order 953. Initially, they were trying to skunk out of it because they said it was already repealed. There's no such thing. But more importantly, he finally said, well, we did tell him and he didn't follow it. So what are we to take from it? It was just him, siya lang. He was the one making the decision for Sanchez. And the paper trail shows that. August 20, he was visited by the wife, by the common law wife at night. And then the next day, he talked with them. But by that time, according to him, it already made the order. But when I asked him about the order, he has no written document. When I asked the Secretary of Justice if he get any notices or anything from the DOPA in connection with the releases, they said no, they did not. So there really is a problem there, and I think it should have been caught as early as that. by the legal eagles of the Department of Justice.
Sir, speaking still on Nicanor Faeldon, President Duterte is saying that he will not reappoint Nicanor Faeldon to another position in government. Your thoughts on that, sir?
I think that's a step in the right direction. It shows the kind of person President Duterte is. He listens to the ground. He has a debt of gratitude siguro dito that I don't know of, and I have to respect that. In politics, you have to have loyal people. It's just like a fiefdom in this country. It's like a fiefdom. You cannot be seen as leaving your man when he's in trouble.
Although that is the case now, sir, Malacanang is saying, or President Duterte himself is also saying that hindi naman po siya nawala ng tiwala pa rin kay Mr. Faeldon, that the President basically still trusts him. What do you think of that pronouncement, sir? What message does that send to other government workers?
One message is that he's loyal to his people, which could be wrong in the pecking order of many people's decision-making process. Second, in the order of things, friendship counts a lot with him, and that's something that Filipinos like to hear or see. And it's important that we are able to discern that there is such a thing as justice first before friendship. And he did that. He removed him, and, well, there's nothing wrong with saying he's still my friend. I believe he's honest, but then I'm overruled.
Okay. Hindi naman po siya, don't you think that it could send the wrong signal to other government officials? You know, you can disobey your superior
No.
and then...
I think the president sends many signals, but you have to make sure that you get it in the right manner, no? It's just like Panelo. That's a wrong move on his part. He sent a letter, wrong in the sense that he should have known better that he was a former lawyer, although he was not saying, oh, ayusin niyo yan. He never said that, no? And I don't think he committed anything illegal, but of course, ethically, I would not have done it.
Okay, you're resuming your investigation on Thursday, sir. What can we expect from that hearing? Perhaps more witnesses po ba?
Well, I hope so. If I don't get any more witnesses, I will have to suspend the hearing. I'm already in the process of preparing the report so that by next week we can come out with the committee report and hopefully file amendments or file a new law.
So Thursday's investigation could be the last? Is that what you're saying? Could be the last?
No, I'm suspending it because I think this is going to be a long investigation. With all this coming out of the woodwork, katulad ng sabi natin, may lumalabas sa ospital, meron mga lumalabas na ibang testigo, may mga namamatay sa loob ng Muntinlupa araw-araw. It is a very difficult atmosphere. That's why people are prone to be exploited. I'm sure other human exploitation is happening there, from sex offenders to beating up people and scaring them to out of their wits if they don't abide by the prison guards. And when this goes down to the lower ranks of the Bureau of Correctional, then that is very dangerous because you're going to have a hard time trying to get to the truth. Now, tandaan natin, yung ginawa nitong si Gamboa, na sinabi niya, gano'n ko siya, kailan ka lalabas? October ka lalabas, di ba? That's next month.
Yes.
Sabi, ba't mo ginagawa yan? Sabi ko, di ba, pag binalik kita, ano mangyayari sa'yo? Papatayin po ko. Sabi niya gano'n. So, there really is something going on there that this guy is willing to be the guy who will tilt the apple cart.
Okay. Sir, regarding the hospital passes naman po for sale, this was initially divulged or revealed by Senator Bongo. Are you going to move towards that direction, also look into this other scheme?
Well, we're looking at other things. This is not about Sanchez alone.
Right.
I never go for the explosive alone. We have to look and reform the prison system, from creating a new prison system that would separate the lifers, the heinous crimes convicts, so that we can better watch them, to creating a computerized system finally. This is not rocket science. Think of Muntinlupa as a school where people register. And when they register, they're all in the computer, their names are there, their passing grades, their failures, their suspensions. Everything is there. So all you need to do is be able to come up with that system and make it transparent so this should not happen again. So anybody can say, oh, this prisoner, can I look for him? Yeah, I'm a victim. So lalagay nila yan, titignan nila yan. Makikita mo kung anong nangyayari din sa preso. Hindi ka nalang mabibiglan na pinalabas na pala.
Sir, it would appear, no, parang deeply entrenched itong different forms of corruption or in the bilibid or in BuCor rather also.
Let's put it this way. People don't want to look at Muntinlupa. It is so hideous to them. Their imagination takes over. Nakakatakot pumasok dyan. Ayoko marinig. Talagang mahirap dyan. Bugbugan dyan, may nababoy dyan, mga ganyan. So, people don't want to look at it. That's why we have to bring it to the core. Because whether you like it or not, prisoners still have their human rights. No? And in this case, they're the most deprived. Ito mga bagong prisoners, yung mga, justice has to be done. But on the other hand, you have to make sure that indeed there is fairness and firmness in the prison system.
Lastly, sir, Presidential Spokesman Sal Panelo saying he will propose to President Duterte to basically order the jamming of cell phone signals in Bilibid. What do you think about that? Is that something you'd support?
It's so simple. Just make sure that no cell phone comes in. I mean, kaya naman yun eh. And if somebody comes in, you go to the bottom of this. Sino na pumayag sa'yo? Paano mo na ipasok yan? Then matatanggal mo yung nagpapapasok, di ba?
So that's not something you'd support?
Bakit ba kailangan natin ng rocket science? Ba't di natin hukayin? Sino na papapasok yan? Sino nagbibigay ng paso sa ospital? Di ba ito hinuhukay natin? And the box stops with the Bureau of Correctionals Director General in this particular case para nakalusot si Sanchez. Hindi siya nakinig eh. May order yan, may checks and balance yung 953. Hindi niya sinunod. So nahuhuli mo at mahuhuli.
And what liability, sir, do you see for fired BuCor Chief Nicanor Faeldon considering those?
I really don't want to talk about that right now. It's not personal. It could be grave misconduct. It could be abuse of discretion. It could even be graft and corruption.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman Richard Gordon. We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. We now have on the line Presidential Anti-Corruption Commissioner Manuelito Luna. Good morning, sir.
Magandang umaga, Ina, and to our televiewers.
Okay, we're still talking about, sir, the GCTA controversy, the Ombudsman ordering the suspension of 27 corrections officials. What's your take on that, sir, to begin with?
Well, that's a very good move on the part of Ombudsman Martirez. And we salute him for that. And we will support him all the way. Because this is what we need. Political will and quick action. Kasi, alam mo, Ina, malaki talaga naging problema dito on the GCTA. And we believe that there are people who took advantage of certain gaps in the implementing rules and manual para gumawa ng pera, no? And we have dangerous criminals out on the street, and they have to be covered. In fact, I've heard that all about 130 are already in, thanks to the PNP and the BuCor, and I expect more heads to fall or to roll in the coming days as we are also conducting a parallel investigation on this, focusing on the administrative aspect and the presidential appointees who are high-ranking officials of BuCor, BJMP, and probably wardens.
Okay, so sir, tuloy pa rin po yung investigation ninyo because I believe the Ombudsman sort of appealed to you to stop your investigation to avoid any conflicting results.
There will be no conflicting results because in the first place, only the President would know what our recommendations will be. So unless the President stops us, we cannot follow the orders of any authority because we only take our bearing from the President. Remember, the PACC was created through an executive order of the President. And unless the President tells us to bow to the authority of the Ombudsman, then we will continue. In fact, the Department of Justice is conducting its own parallel investigation independent of that of the Ombudsman.
Okay, sir, how about, let's go to Nicanor Faeldon. Of course, he's been sacked as BuCor chief. What are you looking at with regards to possible liabilities po sa kanya, especially following the developments in the Senate investigation yesterday?
Well, wala naman siya sa gobyerno, so there will be no more administrative sanction. But the possibility of facing criminal charges is always on the table. Kasi if you remember, merong penal clause ang 10952, yung GCTA law. It provides for a penalty of imprisonment of 1 year and fine of 100,000 pesos plus meron pang perpetual absolute disqualification from holding public office.
Okay, sir, but can you also give us an update?
We may probably look into this and expand the investigation to other BuCor chiefs who were his predecessors sa BuCor, including BJMP chiefs.
Sir, Malacanang earlier saying that other or the predecessors of Nicanor Faeldon should also be investigated. But I understand, sinabi niyo po previously na hindi po sakop ng investigation ninyo si Senator or now Senator Bato de la Rosa.
That's correct, Ina. With respect to Senator de la Rosa, because of constitutional restraints and for lack of a legal basis for the PACC to investigate a sitting senator, then we're leaving that to the Ombudsman.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Presidential Anti-Corruption Commissioner Manuelito Luna. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Ina Andulong. You're watching CNN Philippines.